Hi everyone, Coach Sipho here, and today I got this item from a friend as a gift. I don't even know its name, so if you know the name of this item, please let me know on the comment section. And there are also rumors that it could spin for the entire tutorial, so I just want to see if it would be able to last for the entire intro of this video. Today is the continuation of the 6 elementary end games that every serious chess player should know if they want to make it big in chess. Those who are following this channel know that last week we dealt with the 2 rooks checkmate, which is also known as a bicycle mate. Hence, today we are going to learn how to checkmate with a single rook and the king against a lonely king. Without wasting any more time, let's start. Can you believe that this thing is still spinning? Nevertheless, let's start with our tutorial. As you can see that we have a single rook and the king against the opponent's lonely king. This is how the position will look like at the end. Black's king is under a check and it cannot get out of a check. So it is a checkmate. If you remember when we did the bicycle mate last week, we did mention that you cannot checkmate the opponent's king in the middle of the board. You can only checkmate it at the edges. It could be up the board, on the sides, or at the bottom of the board. For this example, we are going to choose up the board. We are going to push the opponent's king up the board. So, the first thing you need to do is to prevent the king from going to the opposite direction, since we want to push it upwards. Now, what you want to do first is that you want to play the rook there, which cuts the black's king off from ever going to the opposite direction. Black cannot win this position anymore. His or her only hope is to capture the white rook, and it will be a draw because 2 kings cannot checkmate each other. So black's logical move is that move. After having placed the electric fence, the second step is to put the king on its ideal square. The ideal square for the king, when you have a rook and the king, is to put your king on a knight shadow. I call this position a knight shadow. Just pretend as if your king is the knight and you want to put the opponent's king in a check. That's the knight shadow. So if black gets out of the knight shadow, you follow them. You get back to the knight shadow. Out, back to the knight shadow. Out of the knight shadow, back to the knight shadow. Out, back to the knight shadow. Now the opponent's king cannot keep on getting out of the knight shadow going that direction because it is already the end of the board. So his only choice is to come back. Once the kings face each other, we call this an opposition in chess language. So when the kings face each other, you want to give a check. Check. The reason we don't need an electric fence anymore is because when there is an opposition, our king becomes electric fence itself. The king cannot go down. Remember, 2 kings cannot touch. Our own king becomes the electric fence. So we don't need our rook to act as an electric fence anymore. It changes its role and check. So the king can only go up. We repeat the same thing. We go to the knight shadow. Go to the knight shadow. Go to the knight shadow. Knight shadow. Okay, here is a critical position again. You would like to go to the knight shadow again, but you cannot do that since you are going to lose the rook now. The opponent's king is too close to your rook, so you should run far away to the other side of the board. Black will try to chase our rook again. If black could capture that rook, it would be a draw. So black goes that side. Is our king already on its ideal square? Is it on the knight shadow or not? It is on the knight shadow already. So what do? It is our turn. Everything is perfectly placed, but it is our turn. If it was possible, we're going to ask our opponent to play for the second time. Unfortunately, that is not allowed in chess. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do what we call a waiting move. This move is not changing anything. It just passes the move to the opponent. We call it a waiting move. The opponent gets out of knight shadow, you go back to the knight shadow. Out of knight shadow, go back to the knight shadow. King cannot go that side anymore. So it will come this side. Remember, once the kings face each other, we make a check. You go to the knight shadow. Knight shadow. Knight shadow. Don't forget your rook. When the king is too close, you run far away to the other side of the board. Our king is already on its ideal square. So you do a waiting move. If the king goes there, knight shadow. If the kings face each other, you deliver a check, which turns out to be a checkmate. Now, your opponent might try to trick you and do a move that is unusual here. Black knows that we are trying to push him up the board. So, as we stated, that the first thing to do is to build an electric fence to make sure that the king won't ever go down the board. We know that black is supposed to go here. But what if black just goes up instead of approaching the rook? Well, it makes things easier for us. So what you're going to do is that you're going to tighten the electric fence and make sure that the king won't go down. So if black goes up voluntarily, you always tighten the net, make sure it won't go down. Okay? And then if it approaches your rook, you know what to do. Run far away to the other side of the board. Then after that, of course, you need to get your king to its ideal square, which is the knight shadow. Finally, it got to the knight shadow. King is too close to our rook, so we can't go to the knight shadow. We need to run far away to the other side. Our king is already on the knight shadow. So what we do a waiting move. Then checkmate. Congratulations to you. Now you know how to checkmate with a single rook and the king. Those who are still not sure how to checkmate with two rooks, I recommend that you watch the video above. And next week, we are going to learn how to checkmate with two bishops and the king against the lonely king. If you don't want to miss out, please click the subscribe button, click the bell and select all so that you could be notified when we post a new video. Thank you.